Hey, it's Luke. I was thinking the other day, if Push 3 comes out, which we've sort of been expecting for a little while, I'm going to get it right away. And the weird thing is, a day or two later, it was released. But for some reason, now that it's out, I'm not sure if I want to buy it. I'm a pretty heavy Ableton user, and I love using Push. I use it for everything. I use it every single day that I'm recording anything or working on production. I actually even use it as a control surface in Reason. I just love this thing. This is the Push 1. I never upgraded to the second one. That's why I was like, with the third one, that's what I'm going to get. But looking at the details, it's like I'm not sure. I'm almost there, but I'm hesitating. This is why. I've got some minuses and pluses, and they're confusing me. The first minus is the price. It's $1,000 US and $2,000 US if you want the standalone version, which isn't too bad, but it's a little bit more expensive than I was hoping for. But on the plus side, Ableton tends to support their hardware for a really long time. This is the Push 1. It came out 10 years ago. Push 2 came out 8 years ago, I believe. And they're still super useful today. They're still up to date. They'll even add little things here and there that for the Push 2 that will actually work on the Push 1 as well. So chances are that investment can last a long time. And the good news is they made the Push 3 upgradable. So down the road, if they have better CPUs or more storage, you'll be able to upgrade that yourself. Another minus is I'm not sure if it's enough of an upgrade. And that's what I've been hesitating on. This one does what I need it to do. The basics are the same. You've got the scale mode, you can adjust settings, you can do a whole bunch of stuff. It would be nice to have MPE and nicer responsive pads, which actually brings me to the next plus, and it's the biggest plus for me, is MPE. If you're not sure what it is, you're able to adjust the MIDI and you're able to adjust stuff while the note is playing. So instead of having your note and that's it, you've got the aftertouch, which is actually built into here already, but you're able to glide over. So if you've got a note here, you're able to glide over to a higher note and just have that nice movement towards it. And the interesting thing is you can actually replicate it in live if you want to do it manually and draw it in. But on the Push 3, from what I understand, if you're in scale mode, as you do the glide, you will stay in scale. So it's a little bit easier that you don't have to really think of how far you're going or anything. You can just play around with the notes and they'll fit into your track really well. So as a minus, the screen is still small. It's the same size it was on the Push 2, but still way ahead from what I have on the Push 1 where it's just text. One of the interesting things that I've seen is people using the tuner and you're able to see it right on the screen from the Push 3. I don't think that was available in Push 2. It might have been, but it definitely isn't available on the Push 1, which makes it interesting because you can tune a guitar directly from here without having to look at the computer screen. And that is turning into a plus because the Push 3 has a built-in audio interface. So you're able to plug in your guitar directly and tune it directly in there without ever having to go in there. So it's basically two pluses in one. Is you've got that audio interface where you're able to plug in a guitar or a synth or a drum machine. You're also able to plug in turntables or a dynamic mic and play the kazoo without ever having to go to the computer and do all your editing on the machine, which is sort of nice to have that in front of you. And the last minus is a minus-ish because I'm not completely sure how this is going to work. It looks like, at least in my area, there are no stores that have the Push 3 available to go try it out. So I'm not able to get my hands on the pads to see how much of an upgrade it is and how well it would work, in my tracks. But I don't know if it's just not in stock yet or they won't be selling in retail stores or what's going on with that. It's just a minor thing, but it would be nice to know what you're getting into before moving to something like that. Now that's it for the minuses. There are a couple more pluses. One of them is that jog wheel that just looks fantastic for moving stuff around. You've got the jog wheel. You're able to use it to sort of click left and right to move forward and back and select stuff. It would be really nice workflow-wise, and that's something we haven't had before. We've only had arrows up and down and buttons to select stuff. Another plus is you can actually see session mode on your screen and basically build your set or your track that way, just visually. So you really can build a big part of your of your track without ever touching the computer or ever looking at the computer screen, which is sort of nice. It would be nice to be basically just have it sitting on you, but the standalone version is 8 pounds, I believe, around there. So that's a little bit heavy to have on you, but it is workable. Or you can have it on a desk. You can have it at the kitchen table or wherever you want to make music, and then you're able to take your tracks and move them back and forth. So it would be really nice to have. It's not something that in my case would be an absolute that I absolutely need it, but I could see myself using it quite a bit. And the other plus is I use this thing every day. So I feel like it would be money that's well spent and justified. I'm just really torn. I'm sure there's other pluses that I haven't thought of. So if there's some reason that you decided to buy the Push 3 and I haven't mentioned it, let me know in the comments because I need some convincing. So that's the thing. I don't know if I'll get it or not, and we'll know soon enough. But yeah, I hope your decision is easier than mine. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.